Margie Santos, and I'm coming to you from the Republic National Hispanic Assembly. And we are just so happy, to just highlight Hispanic businesses at this point in time, right before the elections. And today we have a very special person with us, Mr. Glenn Parada from Parada Mortgage. Welcome, Glenn.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and this interview is really special for me because I know Glenn all the way from New Jersey.
That's right.
And so we know each other for a couple of years now, and just honored to interview him today. So Glenn, why don't you tell the community a little bit about yourself? Tell us who is Glenn Parada?
Well, Glenn Parada is a person that was born in El Salvador during the war, right? It's called the Black Years of the Civil War in El Salvador, and we were able to come here to New Jersey, actually to the United States, as my father was able to obtain legal entry from El Salvador to USA through the Ronald Reagan administration. As you know, when we did the reforms, the immigration reforms. So we came here looking for the American dream.
Nice.
Right?
You found it. You found the American dream.
And from getting here, we found it, and build on it, right? But yeah, and then we moved around a bit, but we kind of settled in New Jersey. So New Jersey has a special spot for me. It doesn't have coconuts and mango trees, but like Florida does. But it's a special place to me because there I kind of, have great memories of my father. My father's a minister, so of him.
Where you all got started, right?
Yeah, building his church. And I always tell people my father was a huge influencer of giving me the Christian foundation, right? The patriotic heart, and just keeping an entrepreneur mentality. Like he gave me all those factors, and it's so big shout out to Pops there, but it's. And that was the beginning, really. That was the beginning. I grew up and enlisted in the United States Army. I was an armored tank crew member, and I was here and overseas, and then after that, thank you. Then after that, my brother was doing mortgages, right? So kind of diving in how I get into mortgages.
Also, it's like a family business.
Well, yeah, he was doing mortgages. He got me in. He's 8 years older than me. Big shout out to Jose. And he got me into the business, and it's a whole story of how that began. And during the subprime time, during the subprime era, that's back in 2003. So I was able to experience that era in the industry all the way to the crash, and then kind of that was a big spin, right? When that happened, when the crash happened. So, getting back into things with the mortgage industry and how it revamped and how it adjusted to the crash. And then a lot of people restarted. A lot of people got out, but a lot of people had to just hit restart and all the compliances and regulations and stuff. And so now mortgages, the way we know it now, that started really in 2008 or 2010, because before that it was the wild, wild west of mortgages.
Okay, and what was it about the mortgage industry, learning from your brother, that made you so passionate about it? What was it?
The first paycheck.
Well, that will motivate anybody, yes.
Yes. So, when I got out the military, I did what a lot of veterans do. I let my hair grow. I had a beard, and I was just relaxing. I was just like letting go, right? They didn't have really... just had to see where I'm going to start, what I'm going to do. And my brother picked me up one day. Remember, he took me to an office, and it kind of felt like a father taking a kid to kindergarten and dropping him off, right? Because he looked at me, he said, "Hey, you work here now," and he left. And so the guy, the owner of the office, of that mortgage brokerage office, gave me a phone book and a desk, and told me make phone calls, start making calls. I had no idea what I was talking about. I was just calling people, say, you want to purchase or refinance? And finally, I remember Rene, now that I remember his name, he wanted to refinance. So long story short, that once we closed, that first paycheck was $8,000. I cut my hair,
Wow.
I bought a suit, and here we are. We're talking.
Hey,
You
that's
know?
great. And you're doing such a great job. We just want to congratulate you. You know, now you have a new location in Florida. Tell us more about that.
So yeah, we moved everything from New Jersey. Well, we're in transition to even move a lot of loan officers and stuff like that. Here in Florida, with the headquarters is based here in Palm Beach Island, right?
Wow.
So we're on an island, and there's 33 billionaires on the island, to include
My
the president Trump.
goodness.
We're 5 minutes from Mar-a-Lago. We're on what's called Billionaires Highway. The
What a
billionaires go,
blessing. Oh my
right?
goodness.
So, and it's good too, because sometimes finance business can be stressful, and so sometimes you just go out to the beach and it's right there, and you just kind of
Right
relax,
there,
you
yeah.
know, and come back in. But it is a blessing, right? We have Lake Worth on one side, which is a huge Hispanic population, and then we got billionaires on the right side. And so we're like we're in the right spot, I think.
God has
and
really blessed you, Glenn.
yeah, thank you.
Amen. That's great. So,
Thank you.
besides
So we're very
mortgage,
excited, and we're growing.
yeah, definitely. So tell us more about like the services that you provide. Besides the mortgage, is there anything else that you provide in your company?
Well, I mean, it's a mortgage broking company, right? And to add, we're the first Hispanic mortgage company on the island. So we're leading the way in Latinos. And I say, I've talked to a lot of people since we've been featured on Forbes, right? And
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And I tell them, I'm a big believer that a win for me is a win for everybody, because we got to help everybody.
Yes.
We got to help all, because tenemos que unir como Latinos, como Hispanos, and we got to help each other out. So it's not just a win for an individual; it's a win for the community. Okay,
yes,
so
and I can actually be a witness to that for Glenn, because when I wanted to start my business, you were the one. I don't know if you remember. You were the one that helped me register my business. So I really want to thank you publicly for that.
It's a Starbucks.
Yes.
So,
I'll never forget that. Yes. It was because of you that I started and registered my business.
You gotta celebrate. It only costs you a cup of coffee. No, but
yes, thank you so much.
Very welcome. And I see God blessing you too in your business as well.
Amen. Yes. My business is.
You gotta do an interview for you, Margie.
Yes. So just to give them a little bit, my business is Synergy Network Worldwide, and we market and promote the faith-based small businesses. So thank you so much for helping us get started with that. We're already 4 years in business, and things are. Orgullo Hispano, yes.
Yeah.
We're just so happy to just be in business and be Hispanics, and helping other Hispanic businesses as well. So Glenn, I had another question for you.
Yep.
As a small business owner, we all struggle, when we're starting out, right? What has been one of your struggles, as a small business owner, and when you first got started, what was a struggle that you encountered?
Well, like they say, the number one thing is location, right? So making sure that I was located in the right spot, right? That has accessibility to people. So sometimes finding what you're going to call headquarters could be an issue. I think it took us like a month or two, right?
Okay.
Just looking at places downtown in the island, or a little bit on this side of the island. But what really got me was just the population. Of course, the street name, Billionaires Highway. But the way it was positioned, like I said before, it had all communities. We're right there. The second thing is just rebranding, right? I was always a DBA of a company, right? So Parada Mortgage has been around, but we were always attached to a bank or lender and DBA. But we have to rebrand and let people know that, hey, we're just us. We're the only entity, right? So rebranding and the websites, the marketing, stuff like that to really push and get the word out there that Parada Mortgage is here, and we're growing and we're here to help the community.
Awesome. And I was reading your Forbes article, And it says that you only hire veterans. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to hire people that are veterans, of course.
Oh, okay. We want to make that clear.
Yeah. But I've just come across a lot of veterans and a lot of people that I've helped join the military. For example, one of my guys, Kevin Calderon, my man, $100,000, and he came to me. He was looking to do a switch. I think he was working for Mercedes at that time, and I told him about the Army National Guard, and I told him join the Army National Guard. I connected him with a good friend of mine, Eddie Santos. Big shout out for him as well. And he's a recruiter. He joined the military. He came back, and I hired him, and he's been with me ever since.
Oh, that's
right?
amazing.
And he's grown and learned business. So a lot of the guys I did that for, because I know the benefits that it has, right? The benefits are going to last for forever, right? So it's a big plus, and it helps the community también, because I'm not here to promote or recruit. It does pay for your college, right? So I focus and I look at that because our foundation in Parada Mortgage, we hold our values to the core, right? The self-service and the loyalty and then being honest. We really want people to know that this is who we are. They don't have to think twice. We still have that military mentality. And if we went out there in uniform, we're still in uniform now. It's just a little bit different, right? But we still have that mentality. We're here for you, and we're gonna.
That's amazing.
Give you the best service that we can at an above standard, right? So that's why I focus a lot on veterans and all the veterans that we have. Hablan español, they speak Spanish. I have one guy that he doesn't speak Spanish, but we're helping him little by little, ¿verdad?
That's good.
But yeah, so we're big enough. So that's a big audience, the Hispanic community and the veteran community. Of course, we service everybody, but it's the audience that we have developed for such a long time. The churches, the Hispanic community, the business owners. Going back to your question, well, what other services do we offer? Well, when you do a mortgage for a family, and if they're a business owner, or if they're self-employed in a different type of business, cash business, landscape, or something like that, what happens is that by the time that they end their mortgage experience, we help them get their taxes put together. We make sure that they're doing their banking correctly. Some people don't even have their online accounts for banking, and we help them create it. So I kind of see it that they have all their paperwork, everything in order, so then they know financially they're good. So it's not just doing the mortgage and move along. It's making sure that individual,
them get set up.
is correct. It's kind of like hit it and restart, right? For them, hit them restart and getting all their papers in order. Because we finance too. Also, we mentioned in that article in Forbes that we also offer financing terms for people who only have an ITIN, regardless of immigration status, right? So they might not have their documents, or sometimes that more likely they don't have their paperwork together financially, and we help them do that. We make sure that they know exactly where they're at, right? It's kind of like the question, what type of medical do you have? And people really don't know the answer to that. They just know they have it. They don't know what it is, so we really key in on that.
And let me tell you that this is why you're successful, because you know how to give back, and it's so important that when we reach that level of success, that we give back to the community, and you know all about that. So thank you so much for all you do. So Glenn, not only are you a business owner, you are also into politics, right? You are the political director. He's very humble. He won't mention these things, but he's the political director for the Republican Hispanic National Assembly. So tell us more about that, Glenn.
So I want to give a big shout out for Santiago, our chairman.
Our chairman.
For giving me the opportunity, and Sally from Miami, to give her a shout out for her as well. It's a blessing to be part of this organization at a state level, because we get to really educate with our community about politics, right?
Yeah.
The number one focus I've seen from the organization is awareness, is know your rights, your constitutional rights, and understand what's going on in politics.
Yes.
What they show in the media is not always correct. What they put on Univision and Telemundo is not always correct, or sometimes the things that they report are completely pointless. I remember one time that a lady called me and told me, "Oh my God, this is going on," and there was a big thing, and she was watching Primer Impacto, right? It had nothing to do with what was going here. It's just so. But if we educate them and we tell them what's going on, not only federally but locally in their neighborhood, then I think that's going to empower them, and we need to empower the Hispanic community.
Yeah,
right?
Education about politics and about what's happened in history and what's happening now is very important. A lot of people just go by what they see on television, like you said, television, radio, and by what they hear. But it's very important to educate ourselves.
So it's to educate the voter, right? And even the voters that know some education, that might be miseducated a little bit, or might be a single issue voter. So we have to let them know. We have to tell them, what really are the facts, right? Because these aren't opinions when we tell them. They're facts, constitutional facts, or historical facts, and then that kind of just pivots, right? To their position going forward. But yeah, I'm very happy to be on board, and I'm looking to grow more within the organization. And I'm happy to see that they get the right people like you, Margie.
Oh yes, thank you. I'm so happy to be on board as well as Central Regional Editor as well. So I'm so happy to be on board and help out and just service the community as well.
Yeah. So we have a big push for November, and then to help out our candidates that do have their primary coming up here. I believe August 15th or 18th, and but November we have to really go out and vote, and get people involved. It's very important. And then
there's a lot of work to
vote here in Florida counts. It means something, right? Yes. So, but definitely
we have a lot of work to do, and we're very excited about it all. Yes. So Glenn, how can people contact you? How can people contact you with the mortgage company and everything?
Sure, they can email at info@Parada Mortgage. That's my last name, P as in Peter, ARADA, mortgage.com. So they can email info@ParadaMortgage.com. If I have my website also in Spanish, right? So for Spanish speakers, they can just go latino.casa, and that's it. It goes straight to the Spanish website, right? So I want to add to that, all of our staff speaks Spanish. And if they want emails in Spanish or phone calls in Spanish, then we can service that as well, right? They can call me, 347-899-1865. I kept my New York number, and they can call me through there, and I'll give them a call. As a business cell, I'll give them a call, or someone from my office will give them a call, and we'll service and see what loan suits them. Get the ball rolling. But so awesome. Even if you're not applying for a mortgage, someone who might be applying for a mortgage.
We always know word somebody.
And help us grow. Help us grow. Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Glenn, for being a part of the show. Thank you so and much. We congratulate you again on your success. And
thank you.
Gracias por ser un orgullo hispano.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless. Bye.